Did you get carried off? All right, let's get a quick mic check. Okay, let's see. All right, guys, I got Jan and Showtime 17. All right, guys, glad you're here. Get over to our charts here. I think we're good. All right, disclaimer. Everybody knows this is for educational purposes only, yada, yada. Right, okay, so let's see. Let's make sure we got everything working. All right, hi, guys. Hi. Let's see. We get try and get 2025 on. We'll get rolling here shortly. I know vast majority of people watch this later in the day, right, when you have time here. And but I'm fairly certain one of the reasons that we do the time codes so that you can go right to anything that interests you. Hopefully there's a little nugget in everything that we look at. That's what we try to do. And just as a reminder for new members and new viewers and new subscribers, we do it this way. Well, what we're asking for is the members to give us their setups, their charts, and we kind of review. And often you'll find that these lead to setups that might hit your watch list, depending on what you trade and how you trade. So that's the whole idea, right? And I say this all the time. You probably members have heard this 1,000 times. The theory is if you really want to learn something, you got to teach it, right? So if you can teach, that's what we're after here. We want our members to teach our methodology back to us by demonstrating how they've set it up in the charts. Now, Grant F here is first up, and he's been a long-term member of ours, and has a really solid grasp on putting together a trade plan. I mean, he's giving you a trade plan here. Now, I'm guessing, right, he wasn't anticipating this little kicker here on Broadcom, which is what we're looking at. So this is a powerful setup in that he has a shark here on a daily, but we're getting a little push here, right into he's potentially, right? So this would be one. Well, there's a couple of things to note here, right, to take note of. Right now, divergence can be evaporated pretty quickly, right? So you would anticipate if this was going to really start to run towards some of his targets, we wouldn't be back up to retest. Now, we could push a little bit higher here, but really what I want you to focus on is not so much the setup, right? The setup, it's easy to create a setup. The difference makers always in trading is money management. Nobody likes to really talk about that. Oh, fuck, where's my... Right. Do you see the risk here associated with this trade relative to the potential reward? I know it's duh. So why do so many people struggle with this? It almost doesn't matter here what the outcome is. It's that he's demonstrating, here's how this is the way you trade successfully over time. over time, if you want to do this for any length of time, that's what your trade plan should look like. Okay, I get stopped out. Okay, fuck, okay. Next trade. It's really as simple as that. So now you're seeing this, now the crossover here, it wouldn't be unreasonable to think, okay, I didn't get the reaction that I was anticipating here as we're breaking this high now. I mean, I wouldn't fault anyone who was in this trade for getting out early, but then again, you've set it up. It's not unreasonable to think, oh, little liquidity grab here before we come down. It's not unreasonable. Is there an Elliott count here we could put in here? Well, it would have to be an AB, right? So it almost looks like you could start with a leading diag here. It does kind of look like it. But then ABC, we can't go 1, 2, right? So that's off the board. Some sort of kicker in the fifth here to where he's probably got it locked, right? So this, maybe not, right? Well, this would all move over here. You're kind of blowing up the beautiful symmetry. Let me get this right here. The symmetry of the shark. Let me pull back out. And I only, add my 2 cents here in the context of every pivot, period, every pivot is liquidity to somebody, right? And so it's certainly possible that this is a bit of a liquidity grab. It's possible, right? You never know, right? You never know until after the fact. But you can you make a logical deduction here about what could be happening there? In this context, we'd have to come out of here pretty damn fast. So actually, just out of curiosity here, not to belabor the point. Oh, let's see if we can. That's probably reasonable supply. I'm going to have to pull that over. I'm saying, okay, do we have a potential supply zone up here that we're just tapping back into? Where did we launch all of this down from? Right here. Here's that last little upswing. I mean, some people might do the whole thing, right? Where do we go? Where's the last push up where there might be a collection of liquidity here, and now we come back to it right now. Again, I don't. Here's what I wouldn't do. Right, so he set this plan up here. Stick with the plan, right? So I'm not really talking to Grant because he knows this, right? So what you don't want to do is go, oh, let's just give this a little more room. Let's give it a little more room. I mean, why? Why? See, let me see if I can just Control Z that back. Yeah, I can. Okay. It's my suggestion to all, doesn't matter. This trade's not relevant. Take the small loser and then reevaluate based on what happens up here rather than change your risk reward. Right? That's what we tend to do. It's so natural to go, oh, well, fuck, maybe order block here. Let's give it a little more room. Well, the order block doesn't go away if you stick to your original plan. But if we get up here and you get, I don't know, something like this, we come back down, we get a little here, and we get a break of structure, then you've got, okay, do I still like it up here? Same risk reward. Oh, I took a stop on the way. Now is the shark gonna fall apart? Some of the swings, the fib relationships, yeah, probably, because he's keying off of the 887 up here to create the shark. So this, maybe we've got, I don't know, some sort of a butterfly or a angry crab or what, something like that. No, I'm making that up, but something, to get you reset in here. Oh, maybe it's something like this, like, oh, I'll get a little change of character. I'm gonna come back into it, but now I'm gonna use that same risk reward here. Take the stop is what I'm saying. Don't resist taking the stop. It's human nature. I get it. I do. We all do this, right? I hate getting stopped out. Everybody hates getting stopped out. But you've got to find some sort of headspace where you're just at peace with it. Like, okay, right? Good thing. Stop's doing its job. Okay, next trade. Do I still like it? Right? Do I still want to short Broadcom up here? I know, that's for the individual to make. But the key and what Grant is so good at is maintaining this discipline. And then he's got 3 targets. So how many of these, right? I say this all the time. I know, and it's fuck, I just imagine this is commonly referred to amongst educators. How many of these do you need to offset these? You could take a whole lot of little losers here. And the thing that Grant knows, that he's learned this over time, is that if I continue to do this, and keep that tight money management in place and with discipline, I'm going to get one. One of these is going to go all the way to target. There's a damn near 15-1. Offsets a lot of these little losers. I mean, you get one that runs the target. Now, as it sits right now, this may be going higher, right? There's a point where it's too high, but as we sit right here, if his setup gets stopped out here as he's got it framed, the 80% doesn't go away, right? That 80% probability of hitting that median line, is still very much in play. 80% is 80%. Now we go, we're pushing past this high and we're on a rally, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh shit, I got an impulse here, and maybe this is what would we have here? Oh, some sort of combo here to get that thing done. I'm not saying hang on to your trade beyond with the point where it's reasonable, right? If you take out that high, you're probably rethinking this, because now what you're thinking, swing, retrace, going higher. Again, trading for dummies. Let's sell high and buy low. Is he selling high here? All right, makes the point. I don't know, Grant. It looks like that's going to be real close as to whether or not that survives, right? But again, it's not the point. This is the point. All right, so thanks for that one, Grant. I know that's probably not what you expected that to look like when you posted. I think he posted it last night, so he hadn't seen that. Okay, Young Yan is going to give us an option trade here, which I'm glad. Right? So we did some initial work in the options market, and I introduced some of our members that were interested in option trading, which it's just another tool, but you do have to have some understanding of what influences the pricing of an option. So this is the thing I like about Young Yan is that he came into our membership here with very little trading experience, and he just takes what we've taught him and he just applies it. He doesn't go, well, let me see if I can tweak this and make it better. He just takes it and applies it, and he's come a long way since when he got here. Okay, so this is what the hell are we looking at? MercadoLibre. MercadoLibre, what the hell is that? All right, MercadoLibre. Never heard of it. All right, so he's using volatility. Now here, let's clear up just a little space here. He's got a whole series of EMAs. It's not that I'm discounting these in any way, Young Yan. I'm just going to free up some chart space. Maybe we come back to those here. So we got the Vegas wave on there. Bollinger Bands. Okay, so he's taken to doing this, which is a good idea. He's got different levels of Bollinger Bands. So he must have what do you got? Maybe he's got a monthly here, or some higher time frame. So we have a higher time frame on the outside, and then a lower time frame. Do we have anything underneath? A lower time frame underneath. Interesting. So what he's done, it appears. Here, let me do it this way. It's always interesting to see how members are using what we teach. Right? That's a lot of why I do it this way. Interesting the way he's done this. So I'm guessing he's made the lower side of the Bollingers. No, I should get rid of that. Transparent down here. So we're only seeing the push into, I think, I'm pretty sure he's done it this way because this is how we taught it. 2 to 2.5 standard deviations, right? So every time we push into these upper deviations, he's noticing, a 5-year-old notices this. Once we get up here, we tend to kick back, right? And so note the channel. Now here's a big MercadoLibre, very big push here, and you're in that 2.5 Bollinger Band, for an extended period of time before we come back to it. So here's the setup he's after. Looks like he's trying to get short here. So you're giving me a weekly, and I'm going to get to. He's using an option model here, which we recommend, which I'm going to show you in just a second. But let's get clear on what he's doing here. Why are we shorting? I'm going to take that and put it in yellow. just so we can see it a little bit better. Oh man, you got a lot on here. Okay, so where are we? Okay, so I'm trying to get you clear on your Elliott. Okay, so we know we're in the upper. We've tagged the upper Bollinger Bands. Here's the. I'm going to guess that's just a higher time frame. Fuck, could be weekly, monthly, and then here's the internal one. This is what he's basing the trade off of. Yet again, note his risk reward, right? So, anytime we do one of these, I get lots of trade setups. But what I really want to see is, okay, what's your money management look like in that? And here's a great example. So he's looking for the short side of it. I'm gonna, can I hide that? Can I hide that? I don't hide that. All right, and I'm gonna hide this, right? Because we've got this established that, okay, so now I can get to your Elliott work. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, monster kicker in the fifth. Okay, why not? We can go with that. This is a little, A, B, C. Well, you're kind of stuck there. All right, what else would you do with it? You need 3 in the B. So here's the impulse. Funky flat into the B, down for the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right. So, all right. Let's just take a look at that. Let's get it in context here. All right. Where? So, first question. I may have. Well, he's already got it on here. It's hard to see it. Let me go to here just to fatten it up. Okay. So, 5, 3 into a WXY. Oh man, I'm gonna get that in white so I can. Or here, how about pink so we can see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that, right? We don't overlap. 5. This is a little iffy, but again, what's the broad structure here, right? Sometimes we get so caught up and can account every little detail, every little fucking twitch of the count. What's the broader structure here? This is 5 followed by 3. Now, if this goes higher, you might be relabeling, but as it sits right now, I got a 5, I got a 3, I'm at a golden zone. Like that ever happens. That might be being facetious. Of course, it happens millions of times every day across every asset at every time frame. So does it happen? Yeah, it happens. Now, let's be clear. Just because we're in the golden zone doesn't mean that this is where we pivot. It means that there's an algo firing here, and you can see the reactions to it. Let's see here. So, do we have a good one? We might have. So, some of this is kicking from a daily. Whew, that's tight right there. It looks like he barely snuck through. Right? Is that a double? God, it looks like it's a double. Right, I mean, a 2 can go, yep, it can, right? So technically, we can still call this a 2. We can go right up 1 tick to it. Just can't go past it. All right, so we can still work with that as a 1, 2. 1. Actually, you got it pretty clear. All right, this would stand out. All right, do I have a 3 there? How close he got to getting stopped out. Oh, pardon me. I'm gonna guess that this is on the coming back. All right, so he's looking to get in here, and so within the golden zone. One thing to note that again, we are not this precise. Note that there's not a close above the 65. We come right here, we close on it, wick, and we go. Now it's possible that's just all you're going to get from this as we grind our way back to it. I'm going to guess that's not the candle he was hoping to see here. But it doesn't look like he's in yet. So I'm guessing Young Yan is, I'm pretty sure based on the option trader that he's not in yet. So there's a couple of things I like here. One, he's got a clear exit on this. So even though he's going to trade it in options, and this is the big risk with options because you get in there, you've got time. And so it's very easy to go. I was a broker for 10 years. I saw people do this over and over and over and over again. And it's a mistake. The market punishes mistake. Don't ever forget that. The market will always punish a mistake. And if you get away with a mistake, it's almost worse because you'll do it again and then you'll get punished even harder. So to make the point here, let's see if we can put the trade together. So he wants to get short based off of this price action, which is reasonable. And the risk reward is extremely reasonable. The only thing he could do now, the only thing he could do to fuck this up is have it squirt through and go, well, let's give it a little more time. All right, I got time in this trade. Let's give it a little bit more. Well, all right, maybe it's going to go to the 786. Right now, you've taken this very disciplined money management approach, and you've completely fucked yourself with it. Right? And it just, if you do it, you'll do it again. You'll do it again, and there'll be a point where you'll just stop doing it. So, one of the things that helps when you're setting up a trade like this, and I really should insist that guys do it this way, by putting the risk reward on there. I mean, for you to go and do this, right, or move wherever you're trading, right, you've got to actively go and say, okay, I am going to do exactly what I know I shouldn't do. I'm doing it consciously, deliberately. I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now think about that. You are inserting your, well, let's not be crude, right? This is a mistake, right? There's never, ever a reason to do it, ever. Right? If this, let's just assume it does this, right? We squared up here, right? So he's stopped out. Okay, so we're not getting the golden zone trade would be gone, right? That trade is gone from the all-time high. Okay, do I still, now just, because we broke the golden zone doesn't mean we're off to new all-time highs. It might mean that you'd have to reconsider the count here. 5 followed by 3, but I mean, really, this can keep going. Right? I mean, if it's a B, we can have an expanded B. Let's get rid of that. My point being, if you just stay with that discipline, which is the single hardest thing to do in trading, by far the hardest thing, and then you reevaluate and say, okay, well, do I like it up here? I mean, would there be an order block up there? Probably have some supply here. Oh fuck, you just use the whole thing. I probably have some supply up here. Do I like it just as much up here? Took a small loser. But this is what many people do. Well, let's give it a little more room. I got time in this trade. Let's give it time to work. See how it goes. Let's go to the trade that he's set up here. So he's using option strat, which is, I've used a lot of option models in my day. And there are, sure, Thinkorswim, so other places have them built in, right? This information is readily available. I just think this is a particularly easy one to use. It's very intuitive. Well, you got to spend a little time with it, but they've got tutorials. It's really, really well done. I found this maybe 6 months ago. Option strat. If you want a little, I don't know that I have a discount in it, but if you want to support the channel, and as they say, if you want to support the channel, it'd be really nice to use our link. So in our link tree underneath this video, if you wanted to, right? I don't really push stuff like that, but if you wanted to support the channel, you like these live streams, well, go ahead and use our link. Otherwise, and I think they do have a trial also. It's really, really, so, build all these kind of trades where they just take you through, okay, I want to do an inverse iron butterfly. Well, in the first, what does that look like? Right? It's just lots of good jade lizard, right? What does that look like? How do I construct that? Right? If you click that, it'll tee it up for you. So for his trade, let's get down here. He wants to be short MercadoLibre at the golden zone. So he's being very precise with this. If I go back to his original setup, but here's what he's looking to do. So he's putting together, what do we got here? We're just doing so one thing, if you right click here, you get buys. Let's right click here and sells. So buys are above, sells are below. So he's got kind of an interesting trade here. Let's see if I can open up the range. Now, so he's working with expiration date of September 15th. The first in this series, so he's doing a bit of a calendar here. So the first one he's selling here is at the 15th. But pardon me, he's buying one at the 1280 here. Where's your 15? Here's your 15. So here's the other buy. Okay, so those are the hedges, right? So he ends up with a risk curve that looks kind of like this. So here's where the market is. Here's one standard deviation on either side of it. He's got very low risk if he's wrong, right? If we're going this, well, I shouldn't say that. The percentage of risk is smaller if he's wrong, but at the size that he's going with, what are you going with here? we're doing 3 lots. The size that he's at, if he's very wrong and we're going this direction, well, he's gonna get out quickly. But again, so here's a good example of why you wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to give this a whole lot of room, right? I mean, it could get pretty ugly here if you're giving that too much room. But you've got the benefit of if it starts to go his way. Right now, here's where we are right now. So you've got, you're in a range here where, okay, this needs to come down relatively quickly, which is why that's a reasonable trade to take, even though the size that he's putting on is not insignificant. It should be a percentage of his account size, right? So I'm going to assume that he's not over trading here. What's your size here? So we got 1, 1, 1. 1, and then this is a 3. But note here, this is very low open interest, Jan. It gives you that little cautionary signal here when you've got low interest options here. You might consider that. So you want to be really disciplined on the entry, right? So obviously work with a limit order. Whenever you see those little cautionary, hey, I got no volume today, this is low interest. Well, you can see the volume is 0. Oh, do we have open interest on here? I think you can add it, right? But so we don't. There's no volume traded here, so you're going out to September on this, and there's very little liquidity. So constructing this trade is going to be a little tricky, getting that filled at the prices that would make it worthwhile. But it's a bearish trade, because I could go an hour here on constructing this trade. It's just an example. There's some complexity here. What is he telling me? He's telling me thinking about buying the 390 put, but the spread is insane. Well, that's because there's no liquidity here, right? So that's your problem here. On the other hand, 600 is too expensive for me. Probably just going to short it straight up, but man, implied volley is very likely to rise here. So let's go back to his chart so we can reference what he's talking about. Okay, so here, he's got, let me get these down here, right? So when you're trading options, this is RSI. Okay, so let's get this down here. When you're trading options, you're trading volatility. You're trading the implied volatility. That is certainly, and along with direction and time, volatility is the well, there's more to it than that, but that's certainly an important piece of what you're trading. Is you're trading the volatility. So with a position like this where there's some exposure to volatility, right? As in, if the volatility goes up, right, that may not work for this trade. It might, right? You've got to look at what's the impact of increasing volatility. Now, if volatility starts to decline, well, note his profit potential declines, but so does his risk. If it starts to go up, right, well, the trade doesn't look as good, right? If volatility is 80% would be kind of high. So you look back and you go, well, what's the range? How high can we get? Well, we can get pretty fucking high. Right, so the high volatility would work against this trade. So that's the only thing to consider. Now, the other thought is if you came here and you're like, well, I want to short this. Well, you could come here and say, okay, well, let's put on what's a bear put spread? Wrong one. Let's add. You could go bear put spread is what I'm after. Okay, it's kind of the same idea here. So don't be freaked out. Let's get the date range back here. We can use it right here. Don't be freaked out by what you see here. Because, why? Why do I say that? Because you're going to have discipline about when you get out of the trade. The only difference here between taking it in the underlying here, taking it in the asset, is the leverage. You can't get the same leverage, right? So here, by doing just a simple put spread, which is, I'm only going to this because this first one was, I think, more complexity than necessary here. If you're just doing a put spread, okay, well, he's not giving it too much room on this side, right? Because he's gonna exit. But he's not forced to. That's what I mean about it. I watched for 10 years. I watched people do this. Oh, let's give it a little more time, right? Oh, a little more time. Oh shit. Well, it's gonna come back, or maybe we add to it. Let's average down. Oh, maybe this is gonna get better, right? And then you're. Right. The same discipline has to be there with an option trade. If you set your fucking stop, you got to get out of the trade. You're wrong, right? So the premise is here that we're not going to squirt up any higher here, and you've got no margin for error here. So it's got to start working your way quickly, right? Then you can stay with it. Now you got a lot. I mean, this is We're going out this is June, right? Much lower time frame here. But for him, that's why I would have you even here. These are relatively low volume in what it's set up. So you've got to go to your options pricing list and look for maybe a little bit more liquidity. That's the one thing I would add here, Young Jan, because I know he's still learning options. Right? I don't think he's been trading options for a year. You got to look for better liquidity here, where there's volume. Right here, I've got open interest. I'm saying that here. I just defaulted this. But if I were considering putting this trade on, I would rethink, because there's no volume here and the open interest is 0. All right, so you gotta look to your option table and say, okay, where's the liquidity? Where's the open interest? Where can I get filled without getting raped on the entry? Something I don't. Again, we'd have to go look at the option prices. So I'm just going to come off of that and go back to here's the setup. I mean, you could just buy a put. It's buy a put, right? But you have no hedge. If it goes up, right, you're going to lose a little bit more. But again, if you're just buying the put, boy, you got to be really disciplined about the stop. So the one thing you can look at here and say, well, if I'm buying the put, they're likely to be less expensive because the market's been climbing. Where do you not want to buy a put? Right? I mean, just not to be silly, but when you're down here, that's not where you buy a put. Right, you want to buy a put after a big rally here. You get to a technical level because the puts are going to be much less expensive. What's expensive right here? Calls. The only thing you could add to this would be to sell some calls to offset the cost of the puts. Now that's adding a little risk exposure here. But if you're disciplined about that stop, I wouldn't sell them naked. You could sell a call spread up here. You're going to get a portion of your of capital to pay for that price. Not huge, and you can do the same thing. You can construct these over here. I won't do that since we're not an option house, but there are plenty of great resources, including this one, on how to put together a bearish trade with appropriate risk control. That's why you do it. It's a little more leverage. You leverage more of the equity, particularly effective, right, when you're trading more expensive assets. I mean, look at the price here. Right? I mean, they want to spend $1,300 on a going short, right? How much leverage are you going to get? So thus the options. All right, good stuff, Young Jan. I might simplify that a little bit more than what you gave me. All right, I guess I covered that enough. PK, all right, this is, oh man, always love to get something from PK Acevenda, long time member, graduated all the way to brown belt, and I reached out to him, as I have with everyone who's on our team, and was fortunate enough that he agreed to be one of our senseis. So he's one of the best Elliottians I know. He's a level 3 certified Elliottician. Much better. I'm a level 1. He's level 3. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to Elliott Wave, which is why I wanted to hire him. I'll be lucky if I can hang on to him for any length of time, because he's on his way to having a great career as an analyst. Okay, so here we are with ZIL to the dollar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's a tough finish up there, not much of a 5, but it gets done. You do get a new high there. Okay, A, B, C, A, B, oh, look, I love his work. All right, it's the kind of stuff it takes someone with this kind of education to spot some of this, right? So you guys, right, our membership is worth it alone, right? Put me aside. You can just learn from PK. Okay, so I got a 1, 2, 3, and then I go A, triangle B, and then I finish with the C. God, that would be great for a test question. See if you can label this. Tough one, right? Because you're not sure. Okay, this is the what the, right? Whenever you're like, how am I gonna? That's when triangle should pop in your head. A, B, C, D, E, B. So we do it. We get there this way. A, B, right? Then I get an ending diag into my C. This is some wacky trading. A, B, look at that ripper in the C there. Clearly it's an impulse, right? What else are you going to do with it, right? You got to go A, B because of where you are. Okay, so let's back up here. A, B, C. Now that is I know it's easy to go, oh, well, it's just a fucking 3, right? What's the big? There's a lot of complexity in here, and the average person may not spot that as a 3, but we've got a nice big 3. Now, where'd we go? Looks like we went beyond golden zone here. It looks, maybe not. Let's see. Looks like he would have teed it up unless we did. No, we're in between. We in log? Yeah, we are in log scale. Just note we are in log scale. All right, it's a 3, right? It's a very complex 3, but that's 5 followed by 3. So what's it? Okay, all right. So we can go, okay, I understand why we pivot here, which is the only reason to go through all this, to go, okay, do I have a valid potential pivot here? Excuse me. Okay, let's get into that. 1, 2, 3. Boy, that's good work there, right? What else could it be? It's not corrective. It's not impulsive. We're going into a triangle. 3, 4. Ascending with flat top 5. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's good. A, B, C, X, A, B, C, Y. So I got 1. And again, this is some real skill here. 1, 2, 3. All right, are we done? Right? It looks like there's one more down. Right. So here we are, right in the 618, 65, 707 box. So here is your setup. 2, 3. Looks like you got to go. It doesn't, could be, but as he's drawn it here, you'd like to see a little bit more of a 4. You got such a shitty 2. Let's go. There's not much of a 2 in there. Maybe a little bit better in the 4. I guess you'd have to do something. Jesus, that's a mess, isn't it? A, B, C. So what he's trying to clean it up a little bit down here, right, and then come down for the 4. So this is the little consolidation box that you're kind of keying off of. First reaction, A, B, C. So really, it's a zigzag, right? So 5, 3, 5. Here's your buy zone. Zilliqa. It happens to be on Binance. What's the one other thing you could add to this? If we get it. All right, so I could come in here, and I don't have this yet, but if I come down into this pocket down here where we come all this consolidation, if you're looking at a volume profile, that's going to be a high volume node. We've already tested it once. Now, second test, ideally, I mean, the best test of an order block or a support zone is the first test, always best, right? That's where, because, think about it, right? If there are resting orders down here that weren't filled when this launched, the first time back, they're going to eat through some of those. Second time back, right? You get to a third time, is there still any support there? You got to ask yourself, we've tapped that. How many buyers are still there? No, I mean, we never know for sure, but just logically, you could make a deduction here that if I'm tapping a zone like this 3, 4, 5 times, we're running out of orders to eat. Okay, so one more down here. There's a threat that this is so sloppy here that we could come out of here. But then again, don't chase it. Okay, so I missed it. Well, we didn't get it perfect to the turn. Okay, let's wait for the first retrace because this will get tested. There's no absolutes, but likely that will get a little test. Are we going higher? Oh, well, let's test here. Let's just see if a bunch of supply comes in here. So it happens. Sometimes they will run away from you. But at some point, if it's up here, it doesn't matter where it is. There will be a retracement. Trying to do. There will be something like that. And you'll go, oh, shit, I missed it. God damn it. No, you didn't. You missed the first part of it, right? Well, think about it, right, from an Elliott perspective. If this is a 1 and that's a 2, I need an impulse here, so there's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this is going to fly as an impulse. Now, it's not always easy, and sometimes, look here, would you have thought that was the 1? Until you got here, you'd have been thinking, 1, oh, shit, 1, oh, wait, 1, oh, I guess this is the 1. Every one of these, you'd have been thinking, there it is. That's why, you always have to understand that whether we're demonstrating, teaching, where you're doing your own analysis, an Elliott Wave count it's a snapshot in time. As it sits right now, here's the count. Just like, you can see yourself doing this. Here's the one. Oh, here's the one. Oh, no, I guess here's the one. Oh, wait, no, here's the one. You're accommodating what the market is doing. Oh, could it still be the one? I don't know that I'd be down here thinking one, right? But one, two, clearly that's the four. It's the same thing here, right? Sometimes the market doesn't cooperate and doesn't give you a nice, look at that beautiful five followed by that perfect little zigzag three into the golden zone. Does it happen? Yes, it does happen. I've probably shown it 20,000 times. So yeah, it does happen. But you'll find that the trade that you're in, that you'll want, you're like, God damn it, where there's no two, right? There's no two. Where's the fucking two? I was going to take that trade. Is that the two? Is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one? Oh shit, I missed it. It happens. Now, let's just use that as an example, right? Oh, son of a bitch. God, I knew that thing was going to fly. Oh, fuck. Because that would have been my thought, right? Oh, fuck, I missed that. God damn it, that was looking so good. I didn't see the two. I didn't really have a two I liked. But guess what? Comes all the way back down to launch point. Which is why you can't let that, fuck your head up. Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that one. Probably be a two. What did you miss here? $50? What's the target? Way up here. So are you really going to cry about the $50 you didn't get down here? Shit, I wanted to get the turn. Damn it. I need the turns. No, you don't need the turns. You need the meat. Where's the meat? In the three. All right, good one. Good one, PK. Heads up, guys. I'd get that right on your, I do my A list. My watch list is A, B, and C. A is stuff that's really ready, right? B, green bananas. C, I like it, but it's not real. Time's going to have to pass. Good one, PK. Okay, hang on. What do I got here? I got Steers. Okay. Steers, he's a new member and giving us some interesting stuff. What is this? Jesus, I can't even tell what it is. I guess we can go here. Let's leave here. What is this? I got it. It's wrapped ETH. I got it. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember this. Right. So, let's get over to copy. All right. Rocket Pool. I think we looked at this last week, didn't we? If we did, well, he's got a nice trade here. I can't tell. Rocket Pool on Uniswap version 3, looking at the daily. Okay, so this is right. Okay, what are we doing here? All right, 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2. What are the odds from that corner to make the median line? 80%. Now, once we hit it the first time, that 80, I swear to God, I feel like I've done this before. Once we hit it the first time, that 80% is burned. We don't have the same 80% here. So keep that in mind when you're here going, oh well, it got it once, right? I guess another 80%. Now it gets there, but it gets there via you'd have to draw it differently. You'd have this one. Shit, I cannot make this up. I can't. Can't make that up, right? And we as human beings, not that precise, right? Only software can do that. All right, 1, 2, right? So one, Jesus, this golden after golden. I think we looked at this. I think this is a 50 or it's in between. Yeah, this is a 50. So what do we get here? Do we get a golden? No, what? 50. All right, so here's a good example of why you can't. It's not always golden zone. 50, 50. Where are we now? Well, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't really want a 50 there. Here, I know it's getting hard to see in there, so bear with me. We really don't want a 4 going to a 50. I mean, you want them in the 2338 if they're going to be ideal, right? That's the most common location. But coming down to a 50, as long as we don't overlap that 1, let's do it like this so we can see it. All right, now I know I've got 1 on here. Let's get all that out. This out. This out. Here's the last one with triple bottom there, which is just shy of the 50, not overlapping that 1. So we got that right there. So we got that out of here. So I can't tell, stirs, if you caught this or if you're waiting for that to come back down for the 2. I can't tell, but I know we looked at this, I think last week. Okay, let's look at the count in here. What are we going to do with this? You know what? I'm going to change this stirs, not because to in any way not respect the work you've done here. It's a little harder for me to see it. Okay, there we go. All right, so all I've done is just gone to my template here, which doesn't have all those lines in it. Not that those lines aren't worth having. Okay, so I give what do I got here? Well, that's a 3, 3, 5, right? So here's a. Is it a flat? Not much else you can call it. Well, I take that back. You got a candidate here for a 5, right? So a flat is supposed to look more like this, right? So when we get something like this, it's not that it couldn't be a flat. It's just my thought would be, well, wait a minute. Again, as we were just talking about, moment in time, right? Okay, is this it? Is it? Or did I do something down here? Right, this... that's a tough one. Let's just take a look in there as to what we got. Let's see if we can make this fly as you've got it. So I guess what gives this better odds here is that this looks like you can't get a 5 into it. I don't think you can. So it looks like you're stuck with that 3. Yeah, you're stuck with a 3 there. You can, unless there's something at the top, which I can't see, which I don't think there is. Hang on. It would have to be I think you might be able to get a diag in here. Oh, you got these on, don't you? 3. Let's see if we overlapped. Now, I personally never put that on. Let's go to white. Did we? Okay, maybe we didn't. We didn't. But that's a 3, right? So for a diag to fly, that would have to overlap, and that's... Okay. I don't want to lose you guys with boredom. 1, 2, 3. So you don't quite have it. So as he's got it, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So you could do the diag here. So there's the A, B, C. Right. So let's stick with what he's got. Okay. So A, B, C into a W. A, B, C into an X. A, B, C, 1. Okay, well, let's see what we put together. So this would be 1. So it looks like he's waiting for the 2. So let's put this off to the side. Looks like he's going for the same kind of thing here. Look how close that looks like to that. So looks like he's trying to do this. Well, there is a little impulse there. So A, B, C, you're kind of stuck with that. This is a good pull here. So I see what he's doing. He's trying to get in right here. Now, so this would be B list, right? Or not in terms of quality. This is green banana. It's okay, maybe. Let's see, right? It's a lot to project this, right? All this is all going to come down. Get this set up here. So then you really would have a good handle on it. On essentially, it would be some sort of. Well, we could look at it a couple of different ways, right? So a big consolidation window. Well, let's go to a 4 here. Well, he's making a bet that the 4 is in. 1, 2. Well, this is sharp and fast, slow. I'm not sure about the 1, 2. Because you kind of want to put this over here, right? 1, 2, 3. Although this didn't take very much time. Okay. Let's focus on what's important here. It does not, right? It's just you got to take this approach to trading. If this comes down here, and this plays, this would. Shit, how are we doing it here? We'd have to do it over here. As he had it. If this is the 4 and we're starting in the 5, what is the downside here? That he takes this small little stop. What's the upside? Let's do it. All right, so this would all go up here. So he's trying to get this done here. 1, we do A, B, C, and we're going to come down here. We're going to go deep into all this support down here, and then we're going to launch. Right, 1, 2, 3. The premise being that this is the 4, right, which is, questionable, right? So is that the 4? It's a little ugly, right? But this is probably doesn't get a shitload of volume traded. So some of this wacky wiki wrapped ETH kind of price action here is not terribly surprising. But I kind of want to make this point again. It doesn't fucking matter, right? Okay, here's a setup, right? If you get this, what's the risk reward look like? So if he gets it, he's going to have a home run on his hand, right? Beautiful trade, right? So let's actually project it. If that's the 1, and he's going to hit a 2 down here, 3 to the median line. If it's because that's a deep 2, right? So this looks like it's not going to get here, but what would that send you right to the median line? Right to the median line, 4, maybe back to the median line, maybe back to this structure here or something along like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just to get here, with that risk reward is 16 to 1. Okay, if he gets stopped out here, right? Stopped out. Okay, day wrecker, ruin your week, month, year. Probably not. Do you like it down here? Do you have to reconsider the count? Oh shit! I hate that. Do you have to reconsider the count? Is this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2? Right? Something else happening here. I mean, certainly it's not hard to spot the higher highs, higher lows, right? So we've got a pretty good trend going. 1, 2, this is not likely to be 3, right? We need a 1, 2 in it. So 1, 2, 1, 2 makes the most sense. Both of these are perfectly technical. We're banging the median lines. Why would you be doing anything but looking for more upside? There's no reason to yet. Consolidation. So what's one thing that would occur to you? Accumulation before we drive higher. That's the trade you're looking for. If you don't get it, okay, next trade. Nice setup. You're going to have to be patient and wait for this to come down. Reasonable risk reward. Here you've got a very, very clear invalidation point. Shit, you don't even have to take it out. You could put your stop right 1 tick beyond this, because if we can't count it that way. If it's 1, 2, 3. Can't overlap the 1, because the implication is we've got a 5 followed by a 5 right here. This would be your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have to be the 3, 8. Well, it looks like you have a little triangle in there. Before we go up, okay, consolidation, accumulation. It's either accumulation or distribution. If it's distribution, do we want to be in it? No, we want to be out and take a small loser. If it's accumulation, oh well, let's get back on track here with the 1, 2, 3 of the 5th. Now, the one caveat I would add here. Get this. Whew, can it get any closer? Did we cover it? No. You'd have to be mindful of the 3rd being the shortest. Let's go back here because it looks like it's barely there. Yeah, right. So no, this is out of log. This is in log scale. So clearly we're there long enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 2, reasonable. Right. It's a green banana B list. Not in terms of caliber, just in terms of ripeness. Good one, Stirs. Nice. Thanks for contributing. Okay. I got 2 here, which sometimes I just say, guys, you don't have to give me TA. Just tell me what you're interested in. So that's what I have here from Alibi. I think I said that right. Alibi. GRT USDT. No. Crypto. Where is it? I think the way they organize this is that the most volume comes up first. Oh, just for fun. Let's go to KuCoin. Oh, well, we can keep that up there. Okay, well, as many of you many members will know this, right? One of my lead senseis here has really been all over this. James M is one of his favorites, right? I think he likes the story and the potential of it as much as anything. So, do we have a... Well, let's dig in there. I think this looks pretty interesting. Well, we got a good candidate for a 1-2. Looks like that's a lunar shot for the 5th. So if we label this up, 1, 2, it can't be there. So it looks like you'd have to do it. Oh, fuck, wrong one. Sorry. Excuse me. Let's get. Actually, it looks like you're gonna have to do it here. A, B. Hang on. Details matter. All right. It sure looks like a 3. This looks like a 5. So you might have to work that a little bit. 1, so that actually still keeps you putting the 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you likely have to do it this way. That's fine. 3, 4, 5. Let's just do a quick measure here. These. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's a pain in the ass, but we're just shy of it. I get it right on that. Just shy of the 1618. So that would confirm my inclination to put it here because I got an ABC here to give me my 4 that before I launch up there. So that looks reasonable. Now, note we are in log scale on this, so okay, questionable. I would just do this. Right, big demand zone. So if we come back down here, I'd be interested. Oh, wow, they got the purple. Must be one of you guys had that. When I do the copies, I get your settings. All right, so let's just take a look here. So what's the first question always on your mind? Why do we stop here? Why here? Why here? Of all the places that could stop, why there? I don't know. It's 20 or 30,000 times I've shown it. That might have something to do with it. Do you see how this thing works? Again, I don't making this up. We didn't plan ahead to show this to you so that I could demonstrate that for you. I haven't looked at this in some time. I actually have a position here, but okay. 1, 2. Where's the target? Right here. Wouldn't that be, now let's just take some of this off. What is it we're looking for? Should be pretty obvious. First reaction. Do you guys see? This is a process, right? We do it the same way every time. That's the power of it. In terms of, okay, puzzle solving, right? Again, this is the fun part. Money management. That's the part nobody really likes to talk about. Oh, fuck, it's boring. Trade plan. Don't bore me. What professionals do, right? They focus on the money management. They all have a trading plan. There is no moving of stops. There is a plan. They stick to it. That's why they're professionals. All right, what do we got here? WX. Oh, fuck, could be some sort of combo. Do we know it's done? Nope, we do not. Well, let's go to a 2 hour, see what that looks like. Well, that's an impulse right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So sometimes it's where are the fives, where are the threes, right? And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, it's an AW, right? So we can certainly look here and go, okay, A, B, C. All right. Well, how am I dealing with that? Where does that fit into the context here? Well, this doesn't look like an impulse. I mean, just looking at it, okay. Does it look like a 5? No. What does it look like? It looks like a 3, right? So how could we put this together? So you see a 3, you're going to reach for the ABCs. How do we put a trade together there? Or just what? Right? Now, I don't know. We could be done here, right? This could be A, B, C. We could be done here, right? Double tap the 50. Again, why does it stop here? Why of all the pivots that we could stop at, why the 50? You probably just do it that way. Little demand zone to the 50. Okay, do I have enough to get started here? Do we want to? So you'd have to finish it that way. Remember, we got to finish with a 5. ABC. Back to where we just were. Look at this. Do you see this? Right, we are from this golden zone to this 50. That's just an algo box, right? That's all that's happening there. This is algo ping pong. This happens every day. Algo, sell side, buy side, fighting it out. Who wins there? We don't know, but we can get a probable outcome based on what's come before it. Okay, well, if this is here, let's take this up a degree. Oh, fuck, come here. All right, so if it's WXY, it's not the greatest looking Y, but okay. Well, let's see. If we were done here, we need a little impulse to come out of here. Or not to be an impulse, but we need a 5. It looks like that's not a truth. It's kind of an ugly finish, but it looks like you could maybe go 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4, 5. So you got a little tiny. Very tiny little 5, right? Which happens, right? Is that the 5? Well, it does look like it's a 5. Okay, well, let's go down and get into that move off the low. Boy, that's a crypto wick, right? That's somebody got bent over there, market order, or liquidation. This is the trade-off you make with crypto, right? You get this kind of stuff on a pretty regular basis. Now, acknowledging that it's severe on the downside wicks, you get pumps too, right? So it's that's why that's probably why it's getting harder and harder for us in the U.S. They're getting harder to find any place we can trade with leverage or trade futures. I mean, it's almost what's left. Almost not. I mean, if anybody knows of any, I don't. That's not much of an impulse. Maybe you could sneak through here. Because we didn't overlap. But does that look like a 3? Impulsive 3? No, it really doesn't. So this to me doesn't look like we're done here. Now, I say that and I think, oh shit, okay. Well, could we be done? Well, if we come out of here, It's the same story, right? I feel like I'm a broken record. Well, if we do come out of here and some sort of 5 shapes up here, are we going off to new all-time highs in a straight line? Is it possible? I suppose it's possible. Is it probable? Not likely. So if this shapes into some sort of a 5, which doesn't, I don't see how it's going to do that. But if it were, okay, well, it's not panic time. It's not like, oh, fuck, I missed the whole thing. There will be a retrace, right? If we kick up here, it will come. Almost always does. At some degree, you're going to get it. All right, algo box. Now, one thought is this algo has a target. This guy, right? This piece of software has a target right here at the 65, and that you would shape this up. I think this would shape up a little bit better. I mean, it could, right? If this is 1, 2, 3, God, that's an ugly 3, 4. Can we even do that? Right? We might be able to eliminate that. Yeah, we can. We can eliminate that since we would have overlapped here. Although this is not much of a. That would be the 4, 5. Oof. Boy, that's ugly. Sure, I'd chase this. I don't think it's ripe here. I just see that we're in this. This is a little. It's not clean, right? What do we want? When trades where you have conviction. Okay, maybe, we'll do a little 3 here. And if I got that, but I don't really have that here. I've got, it's a very slight wiki overlap here of the possibility that's a 1. So I'm going to try and wedge a 5 into this, thinking 5, A, B, C. This strikes me as not good enough, right? You hear me say this all the time. We have so much to trade. There's so much. Why take one that's iffy? Unless you're just a graph enthusiast, and then what do you don't really care about the TA. If you're a graph enthusiast, okay, are we in the discount level? Am I buying it on sale? Well, you just hit the 50 here of this range. So if we're going to, just keep it drop dead simple, right? Are we here? I know that's getting messy. Are we below the discount? That's log scale. I might look at it this way, right? This is enticing down here, right? If we come back down here, and this is so that this would likely have to do some sort of a thing like this to get better shaping on that Y, because that's a pretty big W. Perfectly technical pivot here on the X. Could we we could be down here. We could. I'd wait for a better first 5. Which kind of sets the tone of the whole thing, right? If you get a good 5 out of here, okay, well, where is that likely to hit resistance? Since we know that was used. I don't know, 1, 2, fuck, some. I don't see how that's going to fly out of there. But if we get up into this, boy, I would be seriously interested in the retrace for that to go. But this is not, again, too many choices to take something that's not ideal. Not in any way to suggest this wasn't a good suggestion, Alibi. It is. I mean, there's something to learn here. Do you want this trade? I think it's not ripe yet. Okay, thanks for posting that, Alibi. Okay, then I got Markowski giving me TWTs. TWT, USDT. This is the Trust Wallet. That's what it is. I'm get there eventually. Okay, Trust Wallet. Looks like most alts. Trust Wallet. Let's get to the daily here. What are we on? We're on Binance. Is that our history? Can't do it that way. Well, that's kind of a shit show, as if you're trying to apply Elliott to it, which I don't know that I would. Oh, let's put some SMC on this. See how that, if we get any advantage there. big fat order block we're sitting in the middle of. If those of you, just my second, I usually don't do a lot of promoting on these, but for those of you that are wondering what that is, right? We work closely with these guys at Sonar Labs and have a little deal for you guys if you get 10% off there. They're very reasonably priced. I think a 2-week trial. Sonar Labs, our link is in our link tree below if you want to explore that. And if you'd like to support the channel, that's one thing I don't say often. I should. I really. If you'd like to support the channel, go ahead and crush that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get up to. I just don't do it. I should do it. I just figure if somebody wants to subscribe, they don't need to be reminded to do it. Oh, that's a cluster F. Okay, so here at some point, you got to bring up a chart like this and go, okay, well, can we label it? Probably. We'll come up with something. Do I really want to put Elliott Wave on that? I really don't. I don't. Fuck. Who knows? I have no interest in trying to dig through that. Now, just be sure that I'm not pissing. Markowski, I like that you're offering this up, but in terms of an Elliott count, I'll wait until something shows itself. Diag, can't really pull a diag in there. ABC, maybe. Oh shit! If gun to head, I suppose we could do this. Oh Jesus! 2, 3, 4, 5. Some sort of crazy diag, maybe. If I had to, right? I don't know if that's all our history, but that's wick only. But boy, we're sure right in the pocket there, in that demand zone here. So yeah, let's take it. No, we go to log scale. Does it make sense? 20 cents to $2? Yeah, 10 times the range. That does kind of make sense. 4 times is kind of the starting point, is when you would be going to log ABC. I hate it. ABC. I can't say I love it, but okay, if I had to. Well, we probably put a big channel on this. I might use bodies. Right, this is just being wicks. Okay, if we're coming a little lower. That's a 50 right in a diag is often what you want to look for. AB working on a C down here. I don't know that it doesn't need to get there. It's not like it's a requirement. We get down here, we stay in that geometry because this is a very iffy diag as it is. Let's see what's in there. Lots of imbalances, right? So you can see a lot of imbalances on the way down. We've come back. Well, okay, so where did we launch from? That's all we're doing. Here's a good example, right? So you can hear it, you can feel it. Oh, I was looking at that. I was thinking about buying it. Oh shit, I missed the whole thing. God damn it, I missed it. Well, keep in mind, excuse me, that makes the assumption that whoever is thinking that got out at the high, right? Because that's what we do in our head, right? We think, oh well, shit, I would have taken it up here, right? Once I saw the double top, yeah, I would have definitely sold it. I might even have shorted it, right? This is what we do, right? So my broader point being, don't feel like you missed it. I mean, there are some where it's not going to come back. That's just welcome to the reality of trading. But the majority of the time, we're already below, right? So all these people are like, oh, heck, I'm going to hold that thing. We're going to the moon. Man, send me the Lambo catalog. All the way back from the launch point. You think an algo was involved here at all? How do we know it's an algo? Not this, it's this. Reaction at the target, right? That's how we know it's an algo. Little piece of software, dirty deeds. Done dirt cheap. Well, not cheap they are. Okay, so we got a perfect algo play in here. So coming off of that, does that look like an impulse? Like, oh shit, here we go. Okay, all right, we got my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't look like it, right? So, okay, so what would your thinking be here? Okay, well, that algo's eaten, right? Got paid. What am I doing here? A, B, fuck, let me get that done. Yeah, I think you can. Well, so that would make me think we got to combo it, right? So right here at ABC, when you had this, right? So here, welcome to reality. When you're right here and you get this 1, 2, oh fucking A, I've got this thing, I got it. Right. Which is why you don't move stops. That you just, if you put together a trading plan, you put the trade on. Oh, what's my risk reward? Oh, it's 7-1. I'll take that. Right. So you got to make that deal with yourself. That's a large part of it. If you put the trade on, you get a 7-1 or 15-1 or whatever the fuck it is. If you get, you shake hands with yourself and say, I am not going to move that stop. I'm going to stay in this trade. Now, once it goes, right, it's a little bit different story. Once it starts to go, well, if I run into some resistance here and see a big reaction, at the very least, what I might do is just take a partial. Get paid for when you're right. Get paid for it. Don't let the whole thing come all the way back. Like I guarantee you, there are people who saw that go up and down. Guarantee it. Oh, send me the catalog Lambos. Oh, shit. Where's the bus schedule? Demand, right? Is it enough to buy it here? Trend is up. Where's the last break of structure? Where's the week here? Let's get this. Don't have it here. Here's the internal swing high and low. So I've got a very tight box here, and there's the 50 of it. So we're just in consolidation here, but at least you're in a demand zone here, but you got a sell zone. So what you need to do here is wait for this thing, or we don't know how far that's going to go down. But if you're just looking at where's the supply, where's the demand, you'd want to see if you're a bull, right? I'm assuming bull is the bias. Oh, 1, come back, test it. What does that look like? 1, 2, 3. No, I'm not saying that's what's coming. I'm just saying if I were bringing this up, okay, I'm 3 foot. Does it look like we're done? Maybe not. Maybe this has to go over here. It just doesn't quite look like it's done. So maybe this is W. So now you're thinking, oh, combo. Oh, all right. Is the X in? I don't know. Maybe not. Is it going to be a 4 down here? That's not a 1. Maybe, right? We're just looking at it because all you got here now is you have nothing to work with other than maybes. Oh, okay. A, B, C into the X. Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. Probably got an order block up here. Oh, yeah. Hey, a little demand zone here because money had to be committed to break the structure here. Okay, we come back to an X. Oh, okay. So that's where if you were looking at this and you got that and you got a 5 here, careful about immediately assuming, oh, it's a 1, 2, 3. Oh, because I got a 5. Because you don't really have a 1 here. And again, what else would you be looking for there? Right, that bad boy. Right, they're always there. That's what we see. Don't forget. It's easy to forget. Oh, fuck, bang, I got it, right? So don't forget, there's always one on the other side. Right? And for everyone that succeeds, there's one that fails. That's a piece people don't get. They're like, God, you show me these things all the time, man. God, I can't. Why am I seeing things fail? Because one side's gonna fail. One side has to fail. I hope that's clear. One side is always failing. All right, Markowski. I think you got, again, green banana. It's interesting. I don't think it's ready. If you got something like this and then you start to come down here and then you get another ABC, oh, now I'm going to get real interested. But I think why? Too much good stuff to trade. Why take something that's subpar in terms of the setup? And again, that for all I know, that goes to the moon. I'm just saying, is that the one you'd pick? Trade Diva down under. So glad to see you posting. Shopify on the watch list, right? Because that's what I asked them for. I said, let me see what's in your watch list. What are you looking at? What do you got your eye on? Let's look at it together. Trade Diva Down Under has been with us for a long. Oh shit! What did you give me here? You gave. Let me see. Let me give me 2. So maybe you give me an image and a link I can work with. Okay. Oh, I should go on. Oh, wait, I got to copy this. Hang on. TDU chart layout. What's the market doing? Big ups. Big up. Well, so they must have, I guess, if they didn't get the debt ceiling resolved, they have discussed it getting resolved. Probably why the market's rocking. Okay, Shopify, right? Let me tell you something. We use for our indicator business. We use Shopify. They get paid, right? If you're using them, I mean, it's great product. But man, do we pay a lot of fees? Okay, well, just looking at this. Oh, I'll probably do it that way. Got an order block sitting right here before we went down, right? The last little push higher, potentially a liquidity grab before we go down. Now we're coming all the way back to it. Unfilled orders, maybe. All right, you can see she's kind of mapping this out. Okay, well, I've got a candidate here for a B. All right, let's put that in context. All right, oh, Diva, what are you thinking here? Okay, I got to get to. Let's go to auto here. Do I want log? What's my range? Yeah, I do want log. Okay, so why are you thinking A? Why are you thinking A? Shit, I'm going to have to go to weekly to get your thinking here. I'm not sure I follow your thinking, Diva. Why A? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing. You'd have to send me a DM as to what you were thinking here, as to why you wouldn't just put why you're thinking correction. Okay, I gotta admit, I don't see it. Well, I like your count. It's just fine here. Let me find a log, see how you're doing it. I'm not following your thinking, right? Maybe you shoot me a DM so I can understand why you're thinking A instead of 1. I'm following there. Okay, so well, let's just play it the way she got it. I mean, does it matter really if it's 1, 2, or A, B? Well, I guess the C you'd expect a different outcome. Okay, WXY seems valid. Here, let's go to a daily. Well, this looks like a 4 to me. Right, so just eyeballing that. Well, that's classic 4 type of triangle schlop. A, B. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So look. I'm not following your thinking here, Diva. I don't see why you're not. Why you're going with. I don't think you got. I think you got an A wave there. Does it matter? Well, you'd have to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, working on the B. I'm lost as to why you're thinking this is all corrected. But okay, let's get into the Y. All right, let's see if we can play it out, or maybe it doesn't matter. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Oh, we're doing this as a diagonal. Excuse me. So let's label it. All right, so those that are, that's probably gonna do it this way. All right, so let's take you up a degree. ABC 1, ABC. It almost doesn't matter. Now, one thing to always look for: 50 on the 4. We don't get it. How's the 2? We get 50 to the tick, right? So we know an algo is participating here. Not surprising. In Shopify, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C into the 5, right? So we got a candidate here for a pivot high. 1, 2, 3. So she's looking for it down here on the assumption that's completed. And here's her entry, right? So good setup in terms of money management. You could certainly trade this with options, or probably low enough cost here, you could just buy the underlying. So this is a little bit of a green banana. I'm very unsure why you're using an ABC for this. Again, it doesn't matter, only in the sense that we're anticipating a full-blown impulse to come out of this. So if this is correctly labeled as a 1, or we're working on the 2, well, she knows where to anticipate the potential correction. Coming down here, I'll push that down just a touch. That's the max I would give it. If this were to start going down, you'd be thinking this was part of the correction here. And maybe this is A, B, and now you're going to get a C to come down here. So that would be the trade-off. Otherwise, okay, so here we are, right? Same, kind of back to where we started. There's the trade. What's the risk reward? 5.6 to 1. Decent. Her targets are right in line. That's the 1618, 175 window. So she's got her targets up here. I might push that down just a little bit and push that up just a touch. Right, so there's 5.8 to 1 for her 5.6, right? So it's same difference, right? So now you see, okay, we did it. Now we got to get this. And we don't know what shape that's, for all we know, it could do something triangle. You don't know. I mean, we're just looking for 3. Right? Can I get a 3 out of this? So ripe, not yet. But on the watch list, good one. I don't know what that's going to look like. So, excuse me. We could look here and put some structure on it. All right, so that would be, there's the last break of structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right, so there's the last break of structure. So if this is going to start to come down, maybe you can get a little push here. Right, possibly we go even further. Right, so that would be your first change of character, and then you'd get a little kick back here. I'm looking for that. Could be on I'm on a daily. Right? We could do it on a smaller degree, and this could be just the 1, 2 of a 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so something along those lines is what she's looking for. This would be the push. That would be your zone that she'd be after. But we want to catch it in a 3, especially since in a diag, right, at the lows, it's always the reason you have so much overlap is because it's such a battle between bulls and bears, right? That's why you see them at beginnings and ends of moves, because bears are still fighting to push this down. So thus all the overlap. ABC, right now, again, that's the max I give. So you set up a 5.8 to 1. Is it ready? No. Is there a potential trade setting up? Definitely. Definitely. And depending on what you get here, right, the only last piece to put into it, right, is, we don't have this, right? If we get it, put something like this on it. Right? So then you might put some framing on it, and all of this kind of moves off. Move it off that way. 1, 2, again, depending on how long does it take. We could get it abruptly. We could take its time. What's here? 80%. Okay, guys, I think how are we doing? Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty good on timing. All right, I'm going to scoot only because I've got nothing else here, and I got a stack of conference calls just teeing up. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks to all the members that posted here. I appreciate it. I hope you guys learned a little something. I didn't do a very good job of watching the chat. Oh, my bad. Okay, guys, I get so focused over here, I forget to look at the chat. Yeah, cool. All right, looks like you guys are chatting amongst yourselves. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. And to those that watch later, I hope you have a little, you learn a little something here. Maybe find out if you just went through all of these. Maybe there's one or two that make your watch list or your A, B, or C list something to watch, and maybe you learn a little bit about how, at least our methodology. Right? It's not that ours is the only way; it's just a way. But we're very consistent about it. So if that appeals to you, you can always join us, right? You start with the white belt, that's free, and then get into the upper belts, all of that, right? Like into the Discord. Or you can go to our tradedevils.com and you'll learn that. All right, guys, I'll wrap it there. What's today? Wednesday. So I'll be back on Friday. Okay, guys, have a good one.